A topic under spotlight worldwide, both within the government and as well as within businesses. One of the most significant issues that Smart City is addressing is how ICT can solve the issues of increasing global population. Today, we are extremely honored to have invited the chairman of the Intelligent Community Forum, Mr. Rob van Gjizel, who is also the mayor of Eindhoven in the Netherlands. 让我们以最热烈的掌声欢迎 Mr. Rob van Gjizel.
Well, ni hao. It's a pleasure for me to be here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. You invited me as the chair of ICF in New York, the Intelligent Community Forum Foundation, as well as the mayor of the city of Eindhoven. We became the most intelligent community in the world in 2011. And a year later, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development announced that our city is the most inventive city in the world as well, because of the high density of pathogens we are facing in our region. So I'm rather proud to be here and tell about our experiences. There is a delegation here from our region, and it was dealing with the combination of health and technology and community building as well. They're over there. Maybe you can stand up, the delegation. So the point today is, what is a smart city? And I must say, although it's a global trend, I think the word smart city is a little bit hyped. And I'm going to explain you why I think so. I see three unavoidable developments coming to the cities in the world. The first one is, it's what the Premier already said, according to the United Nations figures, within 15 years, 80% of the people will live in cities. And that is an enormous assignment for the city governments, because all these people need housing, mobility, education, health, food, and that kind of things. But it's not a problem only for the cities, it's a problem for the rural areas as well, because there will be less people and they need new technology to provide all kinds of facilities for these people there or as well. But when we look to the cities, all the available system on this moment, when we look to mobility, you look to your own city, when you look to health, when you look to the food supply, energy supply, then you can see that all the existing systems are outdated. So it's not only an assignment for our city governments to give these people places, but we need to retransform the systems as well. And these new systems gather specific requirements. They must be more efficient, more effective, they must be cheaper, and they must be open data related and open sourced. And they must be inclusive, because we need cities where everybody in the city is connected and where all the devices can be connected. So Internet of Things is very important as well. And we need it, well, it must be global scalable, so it must be require global standards as well. And the most important thing is, as far as I can see, it must be humanized. Let me give you an example. Maybe some doesn't like it, but when I look to Songdo in Korea, or Masdar in the Arabic republics, then I see that they are developing a city where technology is controlling the city and the people. And I want to have cities where technology is used to improve the life of the citizens. And that's a completely other approach. So if we want to guarantee this approach, then there will be no top-down approach. It will not be bottom-up, because when there is no top-down, then you cannot go from bottom to up. It will be a process of co-creation. I always see that there are in our region, there are 5 lines of collaboration and cooperation. The first one is in industry. We need to bring in this cooperation, the industries. We need to bring in the knowledge institutes. We need to bring in, and that's a very important one, the users. And they say well, normally we speak about end users. I will explain that that word is not relevant anymore, because end users means that they are only at the end of the process, and I think we have to bring them in at the beginning. So the users, the customers, the government, and many other stakeholders. And maybe I can explain it in the best way to tell you that it's not from the micro level and not from the macro level, not from the micro level, but from the meso level. We have to be in contact with all these stakeholders. And that's impossible to do top-down. It's a vertical world that we have seen over the last decades, but it will be a horizontal world within the next decade. The second one is, how are we going to organize this cooperation and the co-creation? In the first place, when we look to our own region, we see that there is a collaboration between the industry parties. We got an open innovation. I'm not going to explain it. You can look at it on Google. Open innovation strategy. There will be an industry 4.0. The main point there is Internet of Things between devices in the processing industry. The second one is, and that's very important, when we want to face this transition on a proper way, then we have to do it in an intersectoral approach. And that means that we have to organize crossovers. So when I look to our own region, we are mainly dominated by high-tech systems, but it's only useful when we use high-tech in combination with food, or high-tech with health, or even food, health, and high-tech. It's that combination that gives new perspectives. The third one is the interdisciplinary approach. We are here with quite a lot of designers. And designers are thinking, it's not the shape of a product, designers are thinking about the whole concept, the way we are organizing all kind of, and producing all kind of products, how we are organizing society. So we have to rethink, it must be a design thinking, we have to rethink our society. And that means that there will be new perspectives, that means that all problems will get new solutions. The fourth one is an inclusive world. We have to do it together with the systems, citizens and the users. So not put them on the end, but bring them in the process, because we are doing it for these people. So bring them in the beginning of the process. And the last one is interdependencia. And well, that's an international collaboration. We cannot solve these problems by ourselves. We have to share with other regions in the world. It's what the Premier said. We are going to export our solutions, but you will have to import them as well. So international collaboration, it's what Benjamin Barber said in his book, international collaboration is of the highest importance. And that is why we are working in ICF, in the Intelligent Community Forum, together with 400 regions and cities, to help each other, to find new pilots, field labs, roadmaps, and that kind of things, and exchange it with each other, so that we can help each other to find the new society. And, well, it's a special relation with the Taiwanese friends, and especially from Taipei, because we got a global triangle alliance between the Canadian Technological Triangle, it's the area around Toronto, familiar from BlackBerry, it's the Eindhoven region, and the Taipei region, and we are working very close together. Well, the third unavoidable development will be the social initiative that will be taken by people in our cities. You must see that the citizens are more educated than ever before. They got an entrepreneurial attitude, and they are more connected than ever before. And I think these three elements are very important. They will have a self-organization, mainly on the neighborhood level, but it's very important to see what is going on, because it's not under control of governments or authorities. They are organizing their own society and their own systems. So the world is rapidly changing. And as far as I can see, and the Premier said something about that as well, the traditional way of ruling and the government has to be changed. Nationally, because it will not be anymore top-down, it will be horizontal, and locally, because the local authorities has to be in connection with all these other stakeholders. The local authorities will have to speed up their processes, because we are the slowest parties in this whole process. And they have to be an adequate partner on that meso level. It's what Bruce Katz from the Brookings Institute in New York said. There is a pyramid when you look to the government. And this pyramid, this is the top. It will be turned down. It will be upside down. It will be the local governments, in connection with other local governments, who will be the main part with the stakeholders in society. Smart cities is something different than just using new technology on societal challenges. Smart cities is about smart people with smart ideas, smart collaboration on a smart implementation, smart sustainability for the benefit of the citizens. And we started in our region we wanted to become the smartest region in the world, and we were successful in 2011. And then we said we want to be more strong. We want to make more money with the knowledge we got. So we started a business program. But nowadays, I'm very much sure that we have to be smart, we have to be strong, but the most important thing is that we have to be adaptive. The world is really changing. Who had 5 years ago, here in the audience, who had an iPad 5 years ago? None of you, because it didn't exist. Who do have an iPad nowadays? Well, quite a lot, and the rest doesn't understand. But we all got an iPad, more or less. And that's a real revolution. When you look to what it's doing on media, on the society side, and when you look to economics. So this is bringing me to the idea. It's the theory of Darwin. Darwin said once, it's not the species that is the strongest or the smartest, it's the species that is the most adaptive that will survive. And it's the same with the cities. Not the smartest, not the strongest city, but the most adaptive city will be successful. And this is the line from your premier. It's not about smart cities, it's about smart living. And living is something we are doing together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman.那接下来我们要进行的是